Good morning guys, and welcome to this edition of HIkelopedia and Singapore's wild west, although it used to be a lot wilder. I'm here right now at what used to be the southwesternmost point of Singapore. 60 years or so ago, this was the location of Tuas Village, a sleepy little place that was home to a couple of thousand Chinese and Malay farmers and fishermen who lived in amongst the mangroves and swamps. Located at the very end or 18th mile of Jurong Road, the village is said to have been established in the 1880s, with Gambia planter Zheng Wanbao amongst the pioneers. Of course, a lot has changed since then due to industrialization and land reclamation, as you can see what's going on behind me. And it was also once quite hilly here too, but all those have now gone. And now, Singapore's most southwesterly point is around 14 kilometers in that direction. Sorry Sentosa, you no longer hold the title for southernmost point in continental Asia. We all know, now it's in Tuas. And it's become a rite of passage in recent years for cyclists to visit the new southwesterly point and lamppost number 1 to slap a sticker on it. And as you know, I'm a passionate cyclist, so I'm no different. Cue the montage. As promised a couple of weeks ago, I decided I'd use this part of the ride to test out the 360 camera attachment of the Insta 361R that I got recently. For the first section of the ride, I attached it to my handlebars. The light was much better on this trip, so the quality of the footage is really good. This camera position was okay, but my body did block the one direction, and near my hands you can also notice the seams where the footage has been stitched together, although it's not that noticeable. I just turned on the camera and let it run. You see, the trick to this 360 lark is in the editing. Basically, you can edit the footage in post to get any angle that you like using the pan, rotate and tilt axes, and it's pretty easy to pick up. I think the second section is better when I put it on top of my helmet. The seam is less noticeable and you can rotate in any direction without anything blocking your view. For that reason, the 360 is certainly a very good option for cyclists and perhaps motorcyclists who like to film their rides, as you can basically capture everything while both hands are free to ride safely. Although you do look a bit stupid, but hey, that's just my opinion. Okay guys, here we go. I've got 2 stickers just so I last here a bit longer. Alright, let's go. I'm going to put this one a bit higher up so hopefully nobody can stick over it. Well, that was a bit of a mess, but well, whatever. I'm guessing the pioneers never used to walk anywhere because there's no footpaths along Pioneer Road whatsoever. chicken pandan. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's only 10:30 and I'm so hungry already. Now my second point of interest on the original west coast is here at the end of Tanjong Kling Road, the name giving a clue to the name of the kampong that once stood here a few decades ago. The term Kling or Kling is apparently derived from the name for the ancient Hindu-Buddhist Kalinga kingdom, and in the past was used across Southeast Asia to refer to people of Indian origin. Over the years, however, came to be seen as derogatory and was largely phased out, which is why I'm kind of surprised to see it still in existence here in Singapore. Anyway, back in the day, and I'm talking pre-war days, this kampong and others around here were very isolated. Lacking road access, the villagers would travel everywhere by boat, using traditional Malay vessels known as koleks. And the return journey to the market just up the coast at Pasir Panjang would have taken anywhere up to a day. All that started to change, however, in the 1960s when the kampongs were demolished to make way for industrialisation and Jurong shipyard. Now it must be quite amazing for the old folk who used to live around this area to see how quickly and how much it has changed. Now we've come to the end of the road. Okay, I'll stop singing. This is the very end of the old West Coast Road, although it did used to go a little bit further in that direction towards the banks of the Jurong River. So from here we have to go this way towards the city, and it's quite nice to get out of the industrial area because there's so much dust from the trucks, and the road, it doesn't feel safe riding on that road. It's not very nice at all. Let's do a distance check. I've done almost 37 kilometers and I've still probably got another 15 or so to go, so better get cracking. I'm here at the side of the Pandan River, which amazingly still follows its original course. And behind me you can see there's still quite a bit of mangrove, which gives a clue to what this area looked like around 50 to 60 years ago. Before the war, the Pandan Reserve was the only remaining forest reserve in the Jurong area, once measuring 875 hectares of mainly swamp and mangrove. This area's estuaries and swamps were once also famous for prawn farms. Official estimates from 1955 put the area in Jurong under cultivation and prawn farms at around 500 acres, or roughly half of Singapore's total prawn ponds at the time. The ponds here were also among Singapore's most productive, reportedly producing around 1,000 kilograms per acre, which according to online sources was roughly 20 times that of prawn farms in Pulau Ubin. That's a lot of prawns. I better get out of here quick, I'm already in trouble with the JTC. Malay for long beach or long sand. It's hard to believe that where that black and white house is over there, just behind there, there was once a long white sand beach that stretched for miles all the way along the coast to Labrador Park. And up until the 1960s, it still had several Malay fishing villages dotted along the coast. Around the mid-1970s, however, the land there was reclaimed and West Coast Park was built. And in the mid-1990s, it was reclaimed again for the construction of Pasir Panjang Container Terminal, which you can probably see in the background. In the 1920s and 30s, wealthy businessmen such as Lee Kong Chen and the Tiger Bomb brothers of Haw Par Villa fame constructed seafront mansions along this road. And eventually it came to be known as Millionaires Row. And some of those mansions are still there today. It's time for some lunch. That was great. I was lucky as well. I was the last but one customer before they sold out. Now, another giveaway that this was once a former seafront is this World War II pillbox that used to be part of Singapore's coastal defences, and this one actually saw some action as the Japanese fought their way along this coastline towards the city, which was defended by one of the British Army's Malay regiments. Right now I'm standing where Buona Vista Village used to be. Now, as you may or may not know, Buona Vista literally means beautiful view in Italian, and as you can probably see, that was obviously a very long time ago. Okay, I'm here at one of my favourite buildings along the old west coast, and it's this beautiful house behind me. It's 146 Pasir Panjang Road, and I've tried in vain to find out some information about it, because most historical buildings in Singapore you can find out some info about it online, but this one there is absolutely nothing online about it. So if anybody knows, then please let me know, but otherwise it's just going to stay as the mystery house. Okay guys, so the final place I'd like to talk about on today's itinerary is this place, the Masjid Temengong Dayang Ibrahim, or Temengong Dayang Ibrahim Mosque. Now, it's unusual because it's one of the few places in Singapore that is still owned by Malaysia, or in this case, the state of Johor. Obviously a holdover from back in the days when Singapore and Malaysia were as one. Now, it was once home to a palace known as the Istana Lama, which was home to Temengong Abdul Rahman and his family until his death in 1925. Abdul Rahman's grandson Temengong Abu Bakar later moved to the family residence to Tayasol near the Botanic Gardens, and the old palace here was eventually demolished in 1954. The mosque was built on the site in 1871, although the mosque that you can see is a newer one that was constructed in the 1990s. As well as the mosque, this site also features a small family cemetery where the Temengong and several of his descendants are buried, although the last burials that took place on the site were more than 100 years ago. Okay guys, I'm done for the day. It's been a long one. I've been on the road about 9.5 hours and I've done 52 kilometers. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this journey along the old west coast of Singapore. If you have, don't forget to smash that like button, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to catch my adventures on a Saturday morning, then you can always hit that bell. And as usual, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my coffee mates, and if I still have some patches left, then the offer is still on. If you buy me 3 or 5 coffees, then I'll send you a patch. You just need to leave your address in the message box. Alright guys, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I want to go home, I want to have a shower. What a way to spend your birthday. Anyway, that's it. See you next week. Take it easy. Over and out.